Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's data automation video, we're going to take a look at a, I believe, common example in corporate world that sometimes you extract data from external systems and apparently in many cases there are multiple columns. So in this case I have 100 and the idea will be to copy only the data that you need. And in this case, we're going to copy only these fields. And the idea will be to ensure that they will be in this order. So the customer email will be the first column, the country the second, and so on. And to make the example close to real world, I have deliberately added apparently names of non-existing fields. So this is what we're going to do. The solution should be fully dynamic. And to achieve this, we will obviously add dynamically a new worksheet. And then we're going to loop through the fields here in this column. And we're going to use the match function first. So if I write match and match cell A2, and we should match it here in the header range, because this way it's gonna return the position of customer email in this array. I need to choose exact match, and in this case it's going to return 3. So for country it's going to return 9. So if I cross check, and this is the country, and if I click the shortcut combination Ctrl Shift arrow left, and if I check here on the status bar, it's indeed the 9th column. And then we're going to copy these columns on a new worksheet on the next available column. Now, as mentioned, I have deliberately added fields that do not exist. And in this video, I will simply ignore those. In real world projects, you may want to raise some error or even abort the process if a critical information is missing, but we're not going to do this now. Maybe I'm going to show this in a future video. So let's delete this, and I'm also going to delete the new worksheet that I just added, and click Alt F11 to launch the Visual Basic Editor. And let's insert a module. And I'm gonna start writing a subroutine which I will call order columns dynamically. And first I'm going to declare some variables. Apparently I will need variables that will hold references to both worksheets. So this one I'm going to call order worksheet as worksheet, and then set order worksheet to be equal to this workbook dot worksheets column underscore order. And let's also do the same for the data worksheet. Set data worksheet equals this workbook dot worksheets data. Then the next step will be, since I will be looping here, I will have to find the last row in this worksheet, and I will also, for the match function, I will need to store the header range. So I will need, since I want to do this dynamically, I will need to store the last column and then also the header range. That means that I'll need a few more variables. So let's first start with the last row here. I'm gonna call last row as long, and for the loop that I'm going to write, I will need a counter, so I will call it I as long. Then the last row will be in orders worksheet dot cells rows dot count comma 1 dot end xo up dot row, and then let's declare the last column as integer, and the last column will be in the data worksheet dot cells. This time we're on the first row, and columns.count dot end excel to left dot column. And I have explained this in more details in another video, and I'll link it in the description in case you're interested. But just to check that this works, I can write debug.print last row and then debug.print last call. So if I click run now, and let's see what's going to show here in the immediate window. It's showing error. What have I not written correct? Column, it's columns order. Yeah. So let's try again. Okay, it's 11 for the last row, and I think that's correct because this is in the columns order worksheet. And for the last column in the data worksheet, it's 100. And I think this is also correct because I have exactly 100 columns in this dummy data workbook. So now I can delete this and write the loop here. So for I equals 2, because we're starting from the second row to last row, next I. And this is where we're going to write the match function. And before this, I will have to set the header range here in order to be dynamic. So yet another variable, which I will call header range as range. And before the loop, let's set header range to be equal to data worksheet dot range, where the first cell in that range will be cell A1, meaning first row, first column, and the last cell of that range will be on the first row and the last column variable. And just to show you that this works, if I write here header range dot select, and if I click run, now we can see that it's going to select all the cells between A1 and CV1 in this case. And just to prove that it's dynamic, if I add more columns here and run it again, they will be selected here. So it's a dynamic solution. So now we can proceed with writing the match function. And for this, I'm going to declare yet another variable, which I will call v as variant. And I will also, I prefer to use variables for the column names here that I'm interested in. So maybe I will call this current column, and it's going to be string. So current column will be the order worksheet dot cells on row I and column 1 dot value. And then we can write that v equals application dot match, and the match function, the first argument will be this. So it's going to be current column, comma. The second argument will be header range, and we need exact match, 0. And if I now write debug.print v, we will see the values that the match function will return for each of these cells. So if I click run, okay, I don't need the select statement anymore, and click run, then we can see that it returns 3 for customer email because it's in column C, so that is correct. And then for country, it returns 9. That is also correct. And we can see here that we have error 2042. This is the first non-existing field. So the idea will be now that we will only process those values for v that do not store error in them. But before we get to this, we will also, as mentioned, I want to add a new worksheet dynamically. So another variable, which I will call new worksheet as worksheet. And let's say that here I'll write that set new worksheet to be equal to this workbook dot worksheets dot out. And if I now click run, then we can see that we have a new worksheet added dynamically. Maybe in a real world project, we will also take care of its name. I'm not gonna do it now because I have a dedicated video for this, but maybe for better visibility, I will simply change its top color. So I think this is the new worksheet .top.color equals, let's say, yellow. Right, so if I now click run, then it will be adding anytime new worksheet and it will change its color to yellow, right? So the idea will be that anytime we find some number here from the data worksheet, we will copy the entire column and paste it on the next available column position here, right? So this is something that we need to take care of. So here I will write first that we need to take care and exclude these errors. So here I can write if not is error v then and if. And now we can write the copy part. So from the data worksheet dot columns v dot entire column dot copy, and I'll leave this now. Apparently we need also the destination argument, but for this we need to establish which is the next available column, which means that we need yet another variable, and I hope that this will be the last one for this project. And let's say I'll add it here, and I'll call it, let's say, column number as integer. Now, before the loop, apparently the first available column will always be the first one. So I can write here column equals 1. And here, after the copy, space and underscore to proceed to carry on the next line, where I'll write the destination argument, that this will be on the new worksheet dot columns. And here I'm going to write column variable. And after this, it's very important that we increment the column number, or else it will always replace simply the first column. So after this command, all we need to do is write column number equals column number plus 1. And I think this should be enough for the entire data automation exercise. So let's quickly debug it step by step to see what's going on, and then I'm gonna run it. So I'll start clicking F8. We're finding here the last row and the last column. Then we're setting the header range. We'll add a new worksheet. We're now gonna change its color to yellow. Then the column number we set to be 1, and then we start looping. The first column will be customer email, and now we're gonna use the match function here. For it, it's going to return 3. Since 3 is not an error, we will enter this loop, and it will copy this column, and it should paste it here. So let's see what's gonna happen. Click F8, and that's exactly what's going to happen. And now it's very important that we increment the column number variable. So if I click F8 once again, this will change to 2. And we proceed to the next iteration, where the next value will be country. So if I click F8 now, the current column will be country, and now V should return 9. And this is also not an error, so it will proceed here, and it will copy the column country from the data worksheet and paste it here on the second position. That's why it was very important not to forget to increment this variable here, and so on. So at this stage I can simply click continue, and we can see that we have 8 columns. Now here we had 10 columns, but we had 2 non-existent fields. As mentioned, maybe in a new video I will show how to maybe show some message if this was critical information, even abort the entire process. So just to show it once again that it's fully dynamic solution, then let's simply get some, let's say 20 columns. I'm gonna copy them, and here I'm going to click Alt HVT and they will be transposed. And now I'm going to order them randomly, so I can use the run between function, and let's say that I want this to be between 1 and 20. And now let's sort. And now when I click run, then we should see a new extract and the columns will be in this sequence. So let's test it. So I'm gonna click run, and I believe it works exactly as expected. We have 20 columns, and if I check, for instance, the order channel, it should be the 6th column, and that's exactly the case. So thanks for watching. I hope you found this tutorial useful, and if you have any questions, then please drop them in the comments and I'll make sure to reply as fast as I can. And I'll see you in the next one.